Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Games blog review. Today we're looking at subQuark's Mint Tin Mini Skulduggery, a 1 to 4 player dice rolling game. Very light complexity, I'd say 1 out of 5, so probably ages 10 or above, maybe even younger. It's lots of fun, lots of dice rolling, and it's absolutely beautiful. Just look at the components and all that. It's gorgeous, hand embossed tin. It fits into your pocket very easily. So you can take it with you anywhere, you can play it anywhere. So what's this about? Let's have a look. What comes in the tin, we have a coin, we'll come to that later. We have some 3 dice. I can get them out, there we go. 1, 2, and 3. And then lots of different skulls. Now every player starts with 1 skull. Let me move that over there. And we'll just set up a little sort of 2-player game. Coin goes back in the tin. And to start with, every player, let's put that skull away as well. Every player rolls a dice. Person with a high dice starts, and that person rolls a dice again. And whatever number they roll is the so-called spirit number. Now, the first player rolls all 3 dice. And every time they roll at least 1 spirit number, so in this case the 2 was the spirit number, they get 1 point for 1 spirit number. If they rolled 2 of a kind, 2 spirit numbers, they would have gotten 5 points. And these are represented by the black skulls. You can either have 5 white skulls or 1 black skull. If they rolled 3 spirit numbers, they would have gotten 10 points. So as you roll and keep rolling, there you go, another 2, so another skull for that player. You basically, keep getting points, and then as soon as you have no longer rolled at least 1 spirit number, it's the other player's go. They roll their dice. Again, there we go, he's 1 spirit dice, and another one, and it keeps going backwards and forwards until someone has exactly 15 points, represented, as I say, by either 3 black skulls or a combination of white and black skulls. The problem is you don't want to go over, so obviously as you reach the sort of 15-point mark, if you roll, say, 2 dice and you would get 5 points, you would potentially go over your 15 and you would bust. To prevent that, you can use the crystal skull. These basically are played to shatter a dice. So say, for example, I played it on, I had rolled 2 2s, 2 spirit numbers. I could shatter one of them and then only get 1 point, 1 white skull, to hopefully stop me from going over the 15 limit. You can play these crystal skulls on your own dice or your opponent's, and as I just sort of said, the temptation might be to play it on your opponents to slow them down, but you each only get 1 crystal skull, and once you've used it, it goes in the middle. If you want that back, you'd have to roll 3 of a kind of any number, doesn't have to be the spirit numbers, and you would get your crystal skull back, but again, only up to a limit of 1. So you do have to use it wisely, and you're probably better off actually saving it towards the end of the game, where you have maybe, as I say, sort of 14 points, and you roll your dice, and if you roll 2 spirit numbers, you might want to then use your crystal skull on one of your own dice to bring you up to exactly 15 points, and you win the game. There's also another thing, when you roll 3 of a kind, you, as I said, you can either get your crystal skull back. However, if you already have a crystal skull, then what happens is, or actually there's another rule, if you roll 3 of a kind of the spirit numbers, you actually score the points, so you would get 10 points for that. But again, if you didn't roll any spirit numbers, or you already have your crystal skull, what happens then? You get the coin coming out with the little hourglass at the top, and that then sets off a sort of timer. The next time this happens again, someone rolls 3 of a kind but not the spirit numbers, or they can't get their crystal skull back because you already got it, the coin then gets flipped over, and what happens at that point? Well, skulduggery happens, and it's quite simple really. What happens, you pass your skulls to the player on the left, and it goes all the way around the table. So here's another way of potentially, if you're behind, moving the skulls around so that you get your neighbor's skulls and maybe get back into the lead. It's all very simple. There's a couple more rules, but overall this is really the weight of the game. Very light, lots of dice rolling, so lots of luck. I mean, for people obviously who don't like dice chucking games, dice rolling games, this isn't for you, but it is very light. And look at the size, it's just, you know, a tiny mint tin, one of the smaller tins. So I mean, normally you get the rectangular mint tins sort of in two sizes, the larger one and this one, the smaller one, and it fits perfectly into your pocket. All the components fit in neatly. It means you can take the game with you anywhere. And because of the size of the game, the length of the game, the complexity, it's really easy to take it with you anywhere and play it anywhere, as long as you have a little area to set up the game. It's a lot of fun, so you know, you can play it in a pub, restaurants, I guess on airplanes, anywhere, wherever, sort of a little table at, you know, airports and things like that, while you're waiting for things to happen. And it's definitely one of those games that I'll take with me on holiday. Yet another game, but I've already made sure I've got this game in my coat pocket, so I can have it available at any point. So it'll probably come out when we're out and about, I'll say maybe in a pub or restaurant waiting for food, or maybe out having a picnic or something. You know, as long as you have a flat enough surface, you can roll the dice and you can play the game, and it doesn't take long. It's to say, depending on how well you roll the dice, it can be quicker or take longer. The components of this game are what to me makes this game even more special. So not just it being a mint tin game, but the lovely custom coin is absolutely beautiful. It's a proper coin, you know, you can feel the weight of it. All the skulls are basically beads, but again, they're beautiful. They just add to the atmosphere. You know, you've got the crystal skulls, the white skulls, and the black skulls. They are, you know, just perfect. And of course, all the thing that's gone into making this game, so the embossing of the mint tin has been made by hand. Have a look on the Kickstarter page, and also my unboxing video, which I'll post a link to in the description below. Yeah, that has all been embossed by hand. Inside the box you have the signatures of Kate and David, all there again hand signed. It's not stamped in and mass produced. This is, you know, lots of attention to detail. It makes it really magical, a really special thing. It does feel very special. So all these things that have gone into the game, the story behind it, is what makes this game even more special, and a game that, as I say, I'll have with me pretty much all the time. So if you see me, you can ask to play a game of Mint Tin Mini Skulduggery with me. And that's really mostly it. As I say, I can highly recommend it. It's lots of fun. If you don't like dice rolling games, okay, it's not for you, that's fine. But for most of people, you know, spending 15-20 minutes rolling dice, spending a bit of time, it's fun. And also, what I forgot to say is there is a solo variant to this game as well. So you can play this by yourself. Again, if you say on a long haul flight or something like that, you know, you can play it in an airplane, put the table down and roll some dice. You know, all the components basically stay in the tin. Only the ones you're actually using come out, so the dice and maybe the skulls that you use for scoring. But you know, it packs away really easily, really quickly, and is a lovely small form factor. So even though I haven't tried the solo variant myself, there is one which I think is a great addition to any game, having the solo variant. Doesn't happen often enough in games, unfortunately. So yeah, I can, as I say, highly recommend this game. Check out the subQuark website. The game was kickstarted, but I believe it's going to be available in May 2019 for general purchases. If you have kickstarted that, you probably will have received it now. I'm in the UK and I've got this now sent over from the US, all the way across the pond. Yeah, keep an eye on the website. Again, I'll put the link in the description of this video. Other than that, as always, please subscribe, like and comment below, always very appreciated. Check out my Twitter feed, my blog page. There's a review of this as well on there in written form. Patreon page, Ko-fi, all that, links in the description below. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.